You there, Freddie?
I'm there, baby.
So, this is my little hostess with the mostest, Georgina. And we've got the main man, Freddie Berry, in the back.
Ever ready, Freddie?
Who's a film star by trade. And we're going down to meet Scott Askham, who is a UFC fighter, or an ex-UFC fighter. He's just been signed with ACB, which is the promoters, the promotion that me and Freddie went to see at the weekend. This is Freddie.
Yeah.
This is Georgina. She's just I've seen the actual ACB one when you grab, because it's we saw it from a distance and we knew that he did it. You'd bust his, because he was just looking around for his buttons all the time. And
he bottled it, did he?
I think he did. Like when you go back and look at it, loads of stuff. Alright. So I'm gonna obviously we'll sort out the.
Bang one on now.
I think so. Yeah. Now I've got your large because you said you're large.
Yeah.
Because you know the more the logo gets splashed about, the better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Scott? So it's entirely up to you. But I thought if you've got all that kit to go to America with.
Yeah. I'll train in that, because obviously that's when you get most shots. You know what I mean, when I'm training.
Well, with regard like the rash guards I've got, some lads will put a t-shirt on.
Like Christmas.
Double wrap, bro. It's like pasta parcel, isn't it? Yeah, nice one. Yeah, nice one, cheers.
So the only thing that I've been told is that to compete we have an open palm, don't you?
I don't know if that's mandatory, but
what would you wear to train?
What? They don't have a thumb. Like, you see how where the thumb is there?
Yeah.
This would be like all that.
Okay, so your thumb's loose.
Yeah, your thumb's loose. It's just fingers. So
surely, if you're on bag training, you'll catch your thumb, won't you? You can undo it again, then. It's
easy. Yeah, I never used to wrap my thumbs. Do you know when I competed? And it only when I
sound like you packed in, Scott. Do you wrap you know when you're in a competition, do you wrap your hands underneath as well?
Yeah. But I never used to wrap my thumb.
Okay.
I never used to wrap my thumb till I got to UFC.
Yeah.
And the cut guy was like, "You've got to wrap your thumb." I'm like,
why?
Well, he wasn't making me like. He's actually from Sheffield. I do know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, listen, he says, "Trust me, wrap your thumb." I'm like, "No, I don't feel comfortable with it. I've got no reason to it." And then I banged my thumb up. A few fights in, he says, and I went to him on fight night. So we wrapped my thumb. I've done my thumb. He went, "Told you should be wrapping your thumb."
That's what we talk. But the comfort of that is you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and you probably don't realise this now. But people are going to look at you and your life, and they're going to be inspired to do stuff. Basically. I started as a maths teacher, so I qualified at Hemsworth. Qualified at Sheffield Arena. Started work here in September. I think it was. When's the school year start? Yeah, September, innit? Yeah. And were it your first year or your second year?
It definitely wasn't my first year. It was my second or third year. It was 8 or 9. So
yeah, I think it was. So I had like top to middle set of young mathematicians, and Scott were one of them. And he were. My experience of you, well, you were fairly sort of shy and quiet. I think that class were ace, actually, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
they were really smiley. Everybody had a good laugh.
Yeah.
I always remember there was one lesson, and this is probably the worst part of it. Is there a lesson where I'd been out and had a couple of shandies the night before?
I don't think you told us that bit. Yeah.
Can you remember it? And I fell asleep on desk. I put my head down and I was like, right, you lot, I'm going to look out for Headmaster and make sure he don't come round the corner.
You did used to always make jokes like that, to be fair. Yeah, you did.
And what do you remember of me then? What?
Just things like that. obviously used to make jokes about stuff like that. He used to tell us about his rugby matches and stuff. I can remember one at times that you actually sent a student out to your car to get one of your programmes from what you've been playing at weekend.
Oh, did what, to read out to you?
Yeah, so he went boot your car, so you sent one of the students, told him what car you had and sent it into boot.
Because I was playing semi-pro rugby at the time, wasn't I?
And obviously no other teacher would have done something like that at a time, like, so that had us all laughing.
Yeah, you kind of. I think that's what I were like when I was teaching, is that a lot of the time I used to get kids to have a laugh and a joke, and then focus you in on your studies.
Yeah, you're still strict sometimes. I can remember that as well. Like if somebody want towing line, you put them in the place.
It was usually Jay, wasn't it?
yeah.
Helping on. A young kid called Jay at the front of the class who used to cheer for. So this Friday here is where most of the kids used to come. The story was basically, do you know why I stopped teaching?
No.
So I was struggling with drink and drugs at the time, and I found that teaching were almost like a conflict of interest. So I was coming to the sort of the end of my rugby career, and I was heavily into drink and drugs, and you probably didn't realise that, and it's something now that I'm quite open and honest about, because there's lots of lads, that get mixed up in it, and girls, and we do like almost like a mentorship and program where I'm associated with certain people that we help coming in and out of sport or in and out of life, basically, that are struggling with the same things. So at the time I was kind of coming to the end of my rugby career, and I just wasn't enjoying teaching. I loved teaching. Like your group was one of the best ever sort of classes, but there were a few that I were getting irritated and angry with, and it just just didn't feel right. Do you get what I mean? I'd probably be better going back now as a teacher.
You were quite young yourself though, for a teacher, weren't you? It's like, what were you, like 24?
Yeah,
24. Yeah. It's, like, obviously you don't realise like back then, but that is young for a teacher, isn't it?
Of course it is. And to be able to command respect, I think a lot of the kids sort of, even though I was a big strapping rugby player at the time, they kind of they could see that weakness in that you weren't.
Yeah, I think that was some things I noticed. Well, like we said earlier, like with the banter and laugh you had with people, and then when it did get serious and people want towing line, that's the bit where you got frustrated. You know what I mean? But
definitely. So I, because I was kind of coming to the end of my rugby career, I'd always been involved with kind of the strength and conditioning and the physio and the rehab and things like that. So I chose to go back to university and retrain as a physio. Packed in playing rugby. I was DJing at the time, I was going out and partying all the time, and I don't know how I managed to sort of get through it all, but I became a physio, and then obviously through stopping drinking, I've met some really inspiring people, and they've allowed me to develop my own brand ideas and get back in touch with people that I was maybe having too much of a laugh and a joke. Sports people, and it's just been really good to see sort of my career within the clothing industry and sports industry sort of take off now. You know?
So you still got involvement in.
I didn't fit as a rugby player fully in my own head. I wasn't a confident rugby player.
Right.
But when I've gone back in now as a businessman, I fit. I feel comfortable. So the skills that I developed as a rugby player have massively helped me as owning a business that's gone back into rugby, and I think that's what I find important, to open up your eyes, and other people's eyes, that you're a fighter, you're an MMA fighter, and a lot of lads want to go into coaching, but there's other avenues as well where your skills that you've developed and the contacts that you've met now are massively important, because they're going to help you.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, obviously, I am already like putting plans in place for when that final fight does come to me. It is a short career at the end of the day.
How did you get into it? Go on, we'll have a walk up here. How did you?
19th birthday.
So you left Hemsworth High.
Yeah, I left Hemsworth High.
One GCSE.
One GCSE.
And what were it in?
In maths. Go to the truth, I wasn't most well behaved at school myself.
Really?
No.
See, I never saw that.
Yeah, I got kicked out in year 11. Got told to leave till my exams. But what it was, my dad had his own business, doing mechanics. So I just always thought, well, leave school, become a mechanic, and then that would be done. Do you know what I mean? I didn't need to listen. That was my attitude. I don't need to listen. I've got a job, so I leave school. I was there for about a year, and like, obviously I was still living at home. So you argue with dad at work, it continues at home. I'm not doing this. Yeah. So then I got a job on street lighting with council, and then I started MMA when I was 19.
So this is the maths classroom where we first obviously met. So just tell me a little bit more about that. How you started MMA. You say your friend was involved in it?
Yeah, my friend. You might have taught him actually.
How old were you?
I was 19 when I first.
Oh, right.
When I had my first fight. 2007 it was.
Yeah.
So May 2007. I went to watch my friend on my birthday, 19th of May. So my 19th birthday next day on 20th, and then very first kick he dropped him. Obviously, just like everyone went through the roof.
Everyone went mental.
And then it got him with Achilles lock.
Yeah.
And tapped him out. And then I started training with him, like pretty much straight after start training with him.
Yeah.
And like this would be unheard of now. Like we in 3 months had a fight.
Honestly.
Like it was literally like back then it was like, if you want to fight, you have a fight and that's it. Like there was no really structure to your training or anything like that. I knew nothing on the floor.
Because it has become a lot more scientific now. There's obviously a few more gaps being bridged into to like the jiu-jitsu and the judo.
That's it,
and
well, I done boxing as well. Like during school I did boxing, and then I got an injury with my knee, and I started back boxing when I was like 17 till I was 19. So I was doing boxing when I started MMA, and my boxing coach told me that I had to choose between boxing and MMA. I can't do both.
Really?
So obviously I chose MMA.
Yeah.
Never looked back since.
Yeah.
I found boxing a lot more repetitive. Like you go in, you're hitting bag, you're skipping, like you're doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas MMA, I'm still learning to this day. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing it 10 years now.
Yeah.
It'll be October, 10 years in October since my first fight. So.
And is that a relatively long career? 10 years.
Not now. No. No,
because you see a lot of, like, the one thing that I like when you looked at Bam Bam. I mean, 34 years old, he looked about 54, yeah. But he looked about 54.
Yeah, he's been around some time, him though.
But he started when he was like...
close to 50 fights, has he?
No, I think the stats were even bigger than that,
yeah.
mate.
Wasn't that the fella that smashed the tash?
Smashed the tash, yeah.
It's funny that.
I will laugh him head off. But I think his first MMA fight was when he was 14.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You know.
See, back at, like, when I was 14, I didn't even know what MMA was. Younger than that, 11-year-old, trained MMA and stuff. So to see what MMA is going to be like in another 20 years, it was just totally different. I had 2 fights before I knew that you could get armbarred from bottom. Do you know what I mean? And then,
really?
Yeah, because I was training in a gym which was a stand-up gym. They knew a little bit on floor, but not much.
Yeah.
And then I lost my first 2 fights, both by submission.
Yeah.
And then I started training in Doncaster, and that's when I started to learn my ground game. Met a guy called Neil Owen, and then obviously I was travelling to Doncaster like every day.
Yeah.
Still working at times.
So you're really excited by it, aren't you?
Yeah,
Still to
this day,
Yeah, and it's nice that, isn't it, when you find something that you really...
Yeah.
I think that's why I kind of stopped playing rugby, because I just wasn't excited by it, you know?
Yeah.
I've been so good I was playing for England when I was 16. You know, I was at the top of my game as a junior, but when I turned pro, it was such a... I was 16, 17 and I was propping against, like my first team game were against Kelvin Skerritt and Carl Harrison, who were the Great Britain prop forwards at the time. And they just basically... I ran at them, and there must have been about probably where that wall is there. I ran at them full tilt, and it were like hitting that wall. And they just literally picked me up, ran all the way back with me, and just took me over at dead ball line, you know. And that was kind of my that was it then. Every week, and it's a little bit like what you do with your training. Yeah, and then it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday training, and then getting smashed on a weekend, you know, and I think that's why I just got a little bit sick of it.
See, that's another thing that comes into like the training. You have got to train smart to obviously have a longer career. Yeah. Like, I'm not really sparring at the minute. No. Like, I only spar in camps now. Like when I was younger, I used to spar like
all the time.
Not all the time, but a lot more, like 2-3 times a week. Yeah. But now, like, I'll spar maybe once a week. Yeah. And then when I go to Florida, it'll be twice. Yeah, but twice a week, every and once a week.
So how long are you in Florida for?
6 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks, yeah. But so it's like I've done it half and half this time. I did my full camp out there. Pretty much my full camp out there last time.
Okay, so you have a 12-week camp now.
12-week camp. Yeah.
And is that historical through MMA? Is that kind of what everybody sticks to?
Yeah, pretty much. As careers get older, obviously people have shorter camps. You know what I mean? Yeah. People know the bodies, and also you're learning less because you already know your game. So like it's just about getting ready for the fight. So people do get shorter and shorter. Yeah. Training camps. Plus, you know your body. You know how to get in shape. Yeah. You've done it that many times. You know what I mean?
I was really surprised, you know, when I went to the hotel, at how much weight you lose prior to. Because that, like, my experience has been within boxing, and I'm not heavily involved in boxing, but I know a little bit, and certainly it seems like the fighters make the weight a lot more gradual. I'm really surprised at that.
I think there's a commission monitoring that in boxing. There's nobody monitoring MMA.
Okay. So it's old school.
It comes from wrestling. A lot of wrestlers do that as well.
Because certainly, like when you look.
I don't cut nowhere near as much as most people. This is why, like, one of the debates between me and Lou was the weight. We both fought at 185, which is middleweight, his whole career. He's had one fight at light heavyweight, and then he called me out.
At light heavyweight?
No, he called me out, but then he's saying that he wants to fight at 195. I'm like, no, I've been 185 my whole career. Yeah. I'll always be 185. If you want the fight, make 185. Yeah. That one, because he struggles to make 185. He says this will be his last at 185. But he should have called him out.
Where's he from, Lou?
From Cambridge, I think. He's down south somewhere. Okay.
Softy.
Southern
softy. Hey, not like good Yorkshire boys, mate. No, it's going to be good, mate. It's going to be good.
It's getting a good build up to it already, do you know what I mean? Like, for how many weeks out it is, like, that was good promotion for the fight, really, what it's going to be like.
Yeah, so who got you involved in with ACB then?
The management.
Okay.
The management sort of that,
yeah. And because they're obviously massive in Russia and massive in Europe.
They're flying at the minute,
And I think they're obviously...
They're signing fighters all over the world now. They've got a show in Australia in December as well, so they're not messing about.
And it's something I want to get involved in because obviously the brand has an identity within compression, but we want to go a little bit further, because within rugby league, your pre-season is... Most people, a lot of the amateurs and the junior sides, they think that it's all about bulking and being big. Yeah. But as soon as you turn pro, that's your pre-season, you know, trying to get that size on and trying to get powerful. As soon as the season starts, it's all about recovery. So you walk into any professional rugby league side, and the strength and conditioning board is, where is that person at for the next game? How recovered are they? So they have recovery points. Yeah, got to say that. So they have recovery points, so they'll, you know, if you have an injury, have you done your ice baths, have you had enough protein in your system, you know, what stage are you at, ready for that next game. So that coach can see on the board how prepared his team is, do you know what I mean? So that's something that fits with the compression, is that, you know, scientifically it's proven to, if you wear this during your training, or if you put it on immediately after your training, you will recover faster.
Yeah? Never know that.
Yeah, so that's, your rash guards will be quite loose that you've used before. Yeah. What this is designed, and what we're saying to you over the phone was, you know, you may want to try a tight, as you start dropping a little bit of weight, you might want to try a smaller size to increase that tightness. So if you've been grappling for however many hours during the day, whack that on after it, and chill out, those muscles will recover faster for your next training session.
Why
makes
is that
sense?
then?
Because
I know, like obviously there's a compressed ice elevate, don't there?
yeah, exactly. It's that sort of principle. So what the material's doing is it's squeezing the muscle belly, and that that increase in pressure, we call it osmotic pressure within the health industry. So you increase the osmotic pressure, which makes you increases what's called your venous return. So your heart pumps a little bit harder, and it pumps the blood to the area faster, basically, so that it's recovering. So it's giving your muscles more nutrients.
Yeah.
So if you imagine a car engine, yeah, if you've got a Ferrari engine in there, that's going to be flying fuel around. Yeah. Whereas an old diesel engine just going to be pumping and sluggish. And we want to turn you into the Ferrari. Yeah. So as soon as you've trained, we want to be scientific with you. So there's a scientific process of what foods should you be taking and when. And you play about with that as an athlete because you know your own body. Do you know what I mean? There's certain foods that you like and you train well on, or you like taking afterwards to make you feel comfortable. The clothing we've got to try and get you into, because the tighter we can make that compression, the more recovery you're going to get, the faster recovery you're going to get. And that's basically where I come in. So the iGOTDOMS, DOMS stands for delayed onset muscle soreness. The company is proud on making you comfortable so you train your balls off, you know, making you look good so you feel smart, but it's also on how fast can we get rid of those DOMs, and that's where my company's now going to be sort of involved in sport. So with you guys who
got rid of DOMs.
Yeah. I got no DOMs. And that's basically what we're going to do, is we're going to try and, the sports where I'm excited with and have got contacts within, we're going to, you know, infiltrate our products into it, and you're going to obviously, you know, fly the flag for us within MMA. And I think it's brilliant. I just think it's a lovely story that, here Freddie, that's the classroom where we first met.
Yeah, them red ones are the new them, aren't they? Them red
they blocked everybody out, haven't they?
Yes.
You used to sit behind.
Just
literally, we're in that back corner,
just behind that window,
and I were in the far left. I remember one at lessons as well. We were talking about, weren't we? I'd actually cracked someone on rugby field. I cracked him, and I ended up having my hand pinned and plated. So I snapped them all and dislocated. Look at the state of that. So I snapped that in half. I crushed that, and here's the stupid thing: is this is the type of person I was.
This is a pupil or a teacher?
No, this was someone upfield. I got in and gave him a right haymaker at back of head. My hand blew up in bits. I got operated. That were on the Saturday afternoon. I were operated on Sunday at about 11 o'clock. I missed Monday, and I was back in work on a Tuesday teaching you. And I had my hand wrapped up, and you think to yourself, and because the thing was, I saw it as it was my fault.
Yeah.
So I damaged my hand by hitting someone, and you shouldn't have hit him. So I thought, if I miss work now, that's detriment to my character and my work ethic. So I came to work, and I got, you know, pins hanging out of my hand.
What did you tell school? Like, I did it. Did you tell
I think I must have said that, because at the time it was like Mr. Sharp.
Yeah.
And he were a bit of a. He were very authoritative, wasn't he? And I think I told him that someone had stood on my hand or something like that. But it were all kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They knew I would done it, like, you know. Yeah. But that was part of my game, you know. I grew up in a fairly privileged background, and but I was playing a very, very aggressive, horrible game, and I had to, because of the people that I knocked about with and the game that I played, I had to smarten myself up. So I went to a guy called Dave Downs, who was one of our conditioners, and he taught me how to box. You know, he ended up doing a little bit of time, and he learned, I think, 5 martial arts, and he's come back out, and him and Billy now do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and but they help kids that might be, you know, where you were falling off the bandwagon, and they try and keep them, you know, on the straight and narrow through martial arts. And I think that's another reason why I'm sort of interested.
Obviously I teach like young kids now, and like when you see them in day one when they come in, how shy they are, like to like how they just grow inside gym. You know what I mean? It's amazing. And obviously then you do get ones who are, like I say, going down the wrong path. Yeah. And then it just turns them around. But I love the confidence one, me, when you see somebody like they'll come in with zero confidence whatsoever, and then they'll just grow and grow and grow. I love that part of it, mate.
Yeah, and it just fills your heart up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I see someone put some kit on, puff the chest out, and they're like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I love that. I like making people feel smart. I mean, I worked in a clothes shop when I was a student.
Buy Gippy when they're putting stuff on.
To me, that's how I was going to smack.
My mate used to do that to me, right? He used to, a lad called Jamie Jury, and he was a PTI in art. So I went and worked for the army. Had a fantastic episode. 2 years, about 2 years I worked for the army, and it was a brilliant time because all lads were getting blown up, blown to bits, and there were loads and loads of rehab money sent. So we were dealing with lads that were really, you know, ripped to pieces through Waperick 11 and 12, and we got a real good camaraderie of the physio department. And when you work for army, there's a lot of emphasis on your downtime. At lunch, they give you, you know, you get nearly 2 hours in our department for lunch, but you'll have to do phys. So everybody literally runs out, shove some food in, or they'll go out, get changed, go for a run, go to a gym, whatever, and then come flying back, have some food, and then you're back to work. And I started, it was when I started running, because I turned into a bit of a fatty, because I'd played rugby, and you know, obviously I got into drinking drugs, and I then just put loads and loads of weight, and I didn't see it coming. So I started running with one of the other physios, and Jamie used to take me in the gym and do my circuits. For 2 years, Scott, and I mean for 2 years, every single dinner time, even if he wasn't in that changing room, he used to stand behind the door if he wasn't in and go, because he knew I was taking my top off, and I'd be like, well, you are doing that. And to begin with, I was laughing and joking, but by end it, we're just doing it, and I was like, well, you couldn't go anywhere. He'd be like, oh, God. Honestly. So I do it now. Anyway.
I know I was changing. I put the top on, one of the same colours you've got on, the other night at the Sheffield Arena. And he's doing it, and I thought, I'm going to smack him if he doesn't, we can stop that.
Right, perfect. Should we cut there?
He's doing this to me. He was doing that to me the other night. I was putting the same top on.
He's trying to get his top on.
Oh, good. I'm in good shape.
Oh, you guys, matching. It's cute.
I can't believe how tall you are now, because you're like over that. But, you know, people who are going to be watching this, they probably don't realise the history of, you know, the mining history. Because we've kind of moved away from that a little bit now. There's a lot more industry involved, isn't there?
Well, obviously, I don't mind houses up west, what we call West End.
I always remember people used to refer to West End as a bit.
Derelict houses in there. That's the sort of stuff that we played in and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
climbing out at Derelict. If you remember, Top Gear actually came with
Did
Jeremy
they?
Clarkson. And he like looks at, he's showing his like through his derelict house and that, and then he looks out the window and he's, I can't remember what car it was, but it was on bricks.
Well, when I came back here, one of the first weeks that I started going out with my now wife, Vicky.
What? So did you leave Hemsworth and come back?
Yeah, because I went and moved up into Harrogate basically.
Yeah.
So I qualified as
not teaching though.
No.
Yeah,
So I went up.
Yeah.
And but I brought her back and I said, oh, this is where I used to teach, because she had no understanding. You're going to remember that Harrogate's a very, very affluent area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places in North Yorkshire that are really, really affluent, and they don't fully understand. You see the reports on the whole mining communities, and you see films like Brassed Off, but until you actually come and look, and I took her, and I think it was the West End, and we went up a couple of, because it's like all terraced houses, isn't it? And it were like bricked up, burnt out, lived in, bricked up, burnt out, smack house, and people just have no concept that there's kids like yourself that it's on your doorstep. That's what you look at, and that's what.
I live like a couple of streets across. I mean, like.
Right. Yeah, we'll walk down here and have a look.
You got West End pub, and then across the road you got West End Park or Tyre Park, as we called it.
So
that's,
did you?
That's where we all.
Did you
all
obviously,
about as kids.
it's a hard area. You know, there's obviously the whole area's had to go through a restructuring, hasn't it? Because of the houses that were pulled down and you know, a lot of families were involved with the mines, and when they closed, obviously there was a lot of unemployment. Did you get mixed up like on the street, carrying on, drinking, boozing, fighting?
Not as much while growing up. Like, yeah, I suppose I did used to scrap a few times. Like, I remember I had a couple of fights in school. But yeah, I just think about I feel scared. I don't know, I'm trying to
I think what I'm trying to say is like, well, let me put it like this: when me and Freddie came to the mixed martial arts, we've been to boxing matches, and there does seem to be quite a hostile crowd when you're at the boxing. We were that was our first MMA event. It were brilliant. It were a lovely atmosphere.
Wait till the atmosphere when I'm on. I swear, get ready. I've got a rowdy crowd.
It was very zen though. It were very, and is that something that comes from the martial arts aspect? Because you know there's that respect of fighters, respect of each other.
What the discipline, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't really know what it's. It has always been a really good atmosphere.
Yeah. And what's it like when you're in the UFC?
When Jim will be up and he's got a shoot. He's got a good lad.
I've got a really good guard. I'm like Abraham. I want to have a go though at it. I do. Like I've always stayed away from kicking. Probably vulnerability. Like never done it before. Feelings of like a bit insecure of. And then I see you and I see everybody else do it, and I think, it kind of has. I think I'd be all right with the contact on the floor because of the rugby. You know, I could learn it. And I know there's a link there because
grappling's my favourite. Like, it is one I love most, definitely grappling.
Yeah.
I'm more known for my stand up, but the one I enjoy most is my grappling.
You've got a really, really obviously strong boxing pedigree, haven't you? So you can stand and train. What's Luke Barnett?
He's pretty cool.
I noticed on I watched a quick video and he's very strong with his backhand, isn't he? He likes to come forward with his backhand.
Yeah, he uses his range when he's quite tall. Follows up with kicks.
Yeah, he seems to be fast on his toes, but is it going to be 3 5-minute rounds?
Actually, it's going to be about 10 seconds because you're going to spark them in that time.
That's the plan, isn't it? That is the plan.
So we'll cut the 3 5-minute rounds out. It's going to be 10 seconds.
See if we can beat Khalidov's record. What did he was?
9 seconds.
9.
That kid doing.
No,
no. Luke Barnett got sparked out in 9 seconds last time, didn't he?
I think 17. I think that's what I'm saying. 17.
What it?
Khalidov.
Do random testing now, don't we?
Yeah. Which is the way forward as a fighter, mate. Because you're ruling out that cheats. We're just doing it as an athlete. We're going toe to toe.
Which is a bit crazy, really.
Yeah. I mean,
Vitor Belfort was one of them. And
well, he's right. It's right. I mean, I want to start thinking crazy. Yes, I'm going to try and accelerate my business.
Go.
But they don't thrive and you don't thrive. What you get some fish butchers. Whereas we want
comes out the outcome.
but what we want to do is we want to sort of grow around you and help you and be part of that story.
What does it feel like meeting up with your old teacher? Knowing what he's done and where he is now and where you are now?
It's crazy to meet up, obviously, all that time. Bennington's it, mine.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Ray. I still make him call me Mr. Ray.
My wife, he taught my wife as well.
Did I?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Ella Cam. She's 2 years younger than me, so I must have been year 9, she would have been year 7 then.
Are you sure?
Ella Cam. Yeah, you definitely taught.
Were you in with the ginger-haired kid?
Ginger-haired kid.
He was a bit naughty. That was my year 9 class. With ginger hair and he always sat up front. Can't remember his name.
So is there anything you want to tell Sarah off now that after all these years? I think that's
Anyway, back to what I was saying. My wife, I was telling my wife that I said I'll put Mr. Ray on one of the comments. She went, what do you still call him Mr. Ray? I went, yeah, still call him Mr. Ray.
That's right. That's right.
Mr. Ray.
Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray.